The Talk Station is proud to present The War Files. The War Files, a selection of interviews honoring our warriors of the greatest generation, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam.
Your name is?
David Lee Short.
David, tell me a little something about where you're from originally.
Originally from the Midwest, place called Puxico, Missouri, that was named after the Puica Indians that established the place.
When did you enter the service?
13 June 41.
What service did you enter?
Marine Corps.
Why?
I went up to St. Louis to take the physical to see if I was physically fit to join the Marine Corps. And there was 3 of us, and the other 2 guys were over 6 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
And they came back and they says, "We're taking you." I says, "What's the matter with the other 2? He said they couldn't pass the physical. That was awful.
June 41, you entered the Marine Corps. Where were you at when Pearl Harbor
When Pearl Harbor happened,
Yeah. You'd already been through boot camp?
Yeah.
Parris Island or San Diego?
San Diego.
So, World War II breaks out. Where was your first duty station?
We went first to American Samoa and built an airfield there. After that, went to Guadalcanal.
You were a Guadalcanal Marine.
Mm-hmm.
So you were there at the initial invasion?
Oh no, we did the follow-up.
You did the follow-up.
And we would never find out where we were landing until a ship pulled up and told us, "There it is over there."
What was your job in the Marine Corps?
I was a machine gunner, water-cooled machine gunner. Boy, you could just keep running belts through that, and it'd never overheat.
But they were heavy, were they not?
Yeah.
Would you?
Well, one night we got information that the Japanese were coming in with supplies and reinforcements,
Mm-hmm.
and that they were going to hit on Cocobono Point. So I took one guy with me, and we went up to the mortar platoon. These people on that road there didn't even know the darn password. And do you believe that? And it was Lollapalooza because the Japanese couldn't say else good, see. So we'd say, "Give us the password." "We don't know it." "Well, I'll tell you, Lollapalooza. Now, let us get on free. We want to go up to the mortar platoon and talk to them." So we let us go on up, and we told the mortar platoon, those big 81 millimeter mortars they'd do more damage than an artillery shell. And we told them that Japanese were supposed to land troops and supplies on Cocobono Point the following morning to be ready. And then we got on back to our unit, and they was ready. And when they landed there, they peppered them with those big mortars, and they killed most of the Japanese and destroyed all their supplies they was trying to land, and that put a big hurting on them. We were able to advance then over on the land as a result of that.
In your experiences in Guadalcanal and leading up to Guadalcanal, did you have any comprehension of the immensity of the job that you were faced with?
Yeah, we were told by our platoon commander when we were in boot camp. He said, "You work hard and learn everything I teach you, because before you can bat your eyes a few months, you're going to be looking down your rifle barrels at Japanese." And he was right.
How long were you in Guadalcanal? Did you stay until the island was secured?
We left when the Army arrived.
Okay.
Yeah. Then Mexican, I volunteered to go to Iwo Jima.
Did you volunteer for Iwo Jima?
I volunteered to go, and Colonel Everett Sage said, you two young fellas have been over here 3 years. I'm not going to let you go. So you go back and pack you a sea bag and be ready to go. And our outfit that went to Iwo Jima was devastated. And Colonel Everett Sage got killed there.
But he would not let you and one other Marine?
Wouldn't let us go with him.
Because you had already been there for 3 years?
Yes.
Yeah,
Been overseas 3 years.
Wow. What Marine detachment were you with?
2nd Battalion, 8th Marine Regiment.
And I'm looking up there at your shadow box. You retired as a first sergeant in the Marine Corps?
Yeah.
How many years did you put in the
30
Marine Corps?
years and 18 days. I had chances to be commissioned, but the colonel, he had 2 drinking buddies. They were master sergeants, and he couldn't get them promoted because they couldn't pass the physical. So it was
Now,
a funny deal.
you have a Purple Heart. When did you receive the Purple Heart?
I received a shrapnel wound in my left shoulder at Guadalcanal.
Do you recall what it was like in Guadalcanal?
Yeah, it was hot and a lot of rain, and we didn't get any meat there for 4 or 5 months. So we were eating everything else and eating rations, and we would take supplies up to the lead rifle company.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the Mantanagal River there, and the first sergeant told me, he said, I was a buck sergeant then, says, Dave, go up and check our water supply stream. We were getting our drinking water out. I'd take a couple guys with you and see if it's clean. And we went up there and found a dead Japanese in the stream. So we started falling apart when we pulled him out there. So we stuck a stick up in the ground and put his head on it. So people know that that water wasn't all that pure, see. But we'd been drinking it and didn't do anything to it.
What you didn't know, that's right.
Ah, that's right. What you don't know hurts you sometimes.
After World War II, you stayed in the Marine Corps.
Mm-hmm.
Then did you serve in Korea?
Yeah. That's the coldest place there was. We had a Swiss stream there. Froze over, didn't break up till April.
What was the transition like from World War II to Korea? Did it feel like it was a different war, totally?
Yes and no. It was similar, but different.
You were in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam.
Mm-hmm. There was an outfit they called the Viet Cong, and they tried to slip in there at night and catch us unawares and shoot us, see. So we made friends with the chief in the village close by, and we gave him a telephone, and he would call us
Okay.
when the Viet Cong was
All right,
coming down.
that was in Vietnam. When did you retire?
30 June 71, 13 June 41 to 30 June 71, 30 years and 18 days.
Amazing. Have you visited the World War II monument?
No.
When you came home after World War II, what was your feeling about your experiences? And was that different from Vietnam and Korea?
Yeah, it was. World War II, you got grabbed up, and you'd go before you knew you could bat your eye. You'd go somewhere, and you'd be in battle. And later on, you could kind of expect it, you know.
Right.
But in World War II, you'd get grabbed off and sent. And when we hit Guadalcanal, The first dead Marine I found on there, his name was COME, and his initials were WE. We come, and that gave me the heebie-jeebies. I found him there. But we went ahead and conquered that place.
Mm-hmm.
Moved on out of there, and
The interesting thing, Korea, Vietnam, you were there for a tour.
Mm-hmm.
In World War II, you were there for the duration. You had been in the war in the theater
mm-hmm.
for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you were telling me a moment ago, and it's for that reason you did not make it to Iwo Jima. That's just
Right,
interesting.
right.
I mean, the difference that you in World War II, did you ever think about coming home?
I was hoping to go home, but I wasn't expecting to get to. So it was kind of an impasse there. But I didn't worry about it. One time, I was the rear guard on a detail that was taking supplies to the Lead Rifle Company from the Mantanacao River. We was taking them rations
Mm-hmm.
and also ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
So then we were starting back, and a sniper cut down on me and blew a limb right out from in front of my face. And if he'd have been smart, he could have shot me in the body, got me on the ground, blew my brains out. But can you imagine a sniper trying to hit you in the head and knock a limb out in front of your face? So I went down on the ground, and I looked up in the trees. No sniper. They'd been up in the trees, see?
Mm-hmm.
So I figured out the guy was in the ground, but I didn't know where he was. He'd cut a hole in the ground and got the sod and moved in there and pulled the sod down the end. And you couldn't tell where he was. So I knew that, so I got down on the ground and crawled out of there to try to catch my detail. And I got part of the way back. I was very guarded on that detail, and this colonel stopped me, wanting to know what was going on at the Mantanacao River. And I says, Colonel, I need to catch my detail there. I'm their rear guard. Something could happen.
Mm-hmm.
You stay right here till I tell you to go. And he kept me about 10 minutes. And I ran and tried to catch him.
Did you make it back to your company?
Yeah. And then I got back, and the first sergeant said, what in the hell were you doing, Short? And says, oh, Colonel, stop me. He said, you stay away from that SOB. I said, how am I going to do that? So he said, okay, you're excused. Being able to have that river there was a help for us because that kind of protected our back.
Right.
And we could operate right and left and front and make plans correctly, and we get back there all right. We lost some men, of course, but one time we captured 5 Japanese officers, and we put them up there and with an interpreter. We told them, we said, we're not going to kill you, but what we're going to do is work you, and you'll work for us. And if one of you does something wrong, we're going to kill all 5 of you. Do you agree to that? And the interpreter says, yes, we agree to that. So we took them and we worked their butt off, and they carried ammunition, they carried supplies for us, and they never did bad a night wrong. Because we would, if one of them had done something wrong, we'd kill all 5 of them.
Wow.
Would have been a dirty deal, you know. But that's just something unusual that happened, that we captured 5 Japanese officers.
David, this is a phenomenal story. I hope that someday you do get to see the memorial. I think this is I think it'd be great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You've been listening to The War Files, a selection of interviews honoring our warriors of the greatest generation, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. The War Files is a TalkStation presentation.